Y'all want to get into the matchups from last week? See how everybody
Yeah.
did. I've got all my stuff pulled up, but I'll kind of read them to you, and then we'll kind of spend a little bit of time on each game if you guys want to like comment and stuff. But the first one we have here is the chocolate covered Alaire versus the Forsaken Juan. Gabe came away with the 2-point victory against Juan. And yeah, it looks like Matt Ryan was a cornerstone of Gabe's team. Matt Ryan and Travis Kelce. He had good performances by a lot of players. There's a donut on his player stats, but we can talk about that one in a second. And Juan was pretty close. He has a good running back core. Kyler Murray put up 38 points.
He popped off.
Yeah. What do you guys think about this matchup? Um,
I mean, overall, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, Kyler Murray had an amazing game. That pass to Christian Kirk, A&M represent. Woo! I thought that was fantastic. Stephon Diggs, the Bills had a great game as well. Stephon Diggs gave points to
Go
Juan.
Bills.
On Gabe's side, the Chocolate Cover Hilaire's team. Matt Ryan played really well, took advantage of all the screw ups that Dallas did within the first quarter and even throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, even Cardinals D putting up a good game as well. Um,
Something
and then
interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
my last comment was gonna be with Tyler Lockett with the Seahawks. Getting that. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was one or two touchdowns, but couple of passes, couple of good passes from Russell Wilson there.
Yep.
The next matchup I have here is going to be Darth McDick versus Welcome to the Kid. This is Dicky and Serge's matchup. We have a lot of close games this week. Another close game, 108 to 105. Christian Dicky Ramirez comes away with the win. What do you guys think? Is Dicky's team looking strong, or what are we seeing here?
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson.
I
Go ahead, Austin. Go ahead, Austin.
was texting Serge a good amount of the time during this game. He was just
Mhm.
so upset that he played the wrong defense,
Yeah.
that the Colts got him 20 on his
Yeah.
bench,
Hmm.
and he played someone with a -1, was it, or something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Titans with
Yeah,
-1.
Titans D
So
negative
he
one.
was bummed. But yeah, like Jose, I'll let Jose go into what he's gonna say about Lamar and Pat and all that.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson had a really good game. Didn't get as many projected points as possible, but I mean, like that matchup, if you got a chance to see the game, he was just doing fantastic. Yeah, Bears D doing real great as well, and then Justin Tucker putting up some solid points for him. Um, Patrick Mahomes on Surge's end, that's always going to be uh, a solid pick. No,
Yeah.
any player from Kansas City is going to give you some solid points. So
And Mahomes and Terry McLaurin, is that what it is? Looks like it carried the ball. Well, not really. Maybe them and Zane, his kicker, kind of carried his team. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes is always going to be a cornerstone of that team, definitely. But I mean, semi decent performances from the rest of his players. The next one I'm going to pull up is the GG Raiders D Elite up against Notice Me Senpai Uwu. Another 2-point game. Nestor takes the win, 117 to Jeremy's 115. Nestor's team, like we said, I think it's one of the favorites, like just around our league. People like it. It looks solid.
That's your team.
Yeah, Nestor's team. Yeah, just did good. But Jeremy's got a lot of, like, he looks like he's got a really good, well, he had a solid running back core. But yeah, I mean, we've got our first one. Jeremy this week lost Christian McCaffrey for a
right,
little
yep.
while, at least a few weeks, right? Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's looking. I think from what I read, it was 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be tough. I mean, Jeremy's. It doesn't look like he has a lot of depth, but also he's got 1, 2, 3 running backs on his bench. Montgomery put up 18 points.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Yeah,
always gonna
I
be
mean,
hard coming back like he had the #1 pick, right? So
yeah.
it's like
Mm-hmm.
he was a no-brainer start every single game. So
Yeah.
even if you have depth, it's still like not the same sort of. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of
Like it's still
course.
gonna be a big hole.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That was a tough one for him.
Yeah,
Yep.
with Christian McCaffrey.
it definitely is. Would have been it would have been nice to win this game too, because the next four, I mean, I guess I don't know. Either way, it's unfortunate, but yeah, just the next 4 to 6 weeks, you're gonna be without your
It's always
RB1.
fun to have an excuse of why you didn't win, right? It's like, well, McCaffrey got hurt, the season's over.
Yeah, that was the year I lost McCaffrey in week 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
this
drafted Adrian Peterson. It's all just a wash, you know.
yeah, this one in particular, this matchup, it came down to the wire because you
Yeah.
had Drew Brees on Jeremy's
Oh
team, and
yeah,
then you had Alvin Kamara. If Drew Brees if he would have threw the ball more, then I think Jeremy would have ended up winning. But
It came down to that Saints
I get
game, huh? Yeah.
yeah, it came down to that Saints game. Yeah, and they were going,
how about
uh,
the Raiders?
they were
Huh?
running the ball. Yeah, how about them Raiders? They were doing pretty good as well. But yeah, the Saints kept running. Their play strat was run the ball, and number one throughout that entire like strat
Yeah.
was Alvin Kamara. And I remember talking to Nestor about this. He was like, Alvin Kamara needed was a couple touchdowns, and like he'll be happy. And then sure enough, Alvin Kamara delivered with double the amount of projected points.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah, man. Kamara came in with two touchdowns and
Mm-hmm.
however many, like 95 receiving yards, 79 yards. Yeah, he put up 28 points. It's going to be strong for his already confident team. I think it's going to be
Right.
it's going to look really
Mm-hmm.
good. I'm excited to see. Nestor moves into week 3 2-0, so we'll see how that goes. And then we have Dino and Mark's matchup, Zeking in public versus the Baba Yaga. Dino, probably the biggest point differential we've encountered so far, 100 to Mark's 70. Yeah, what did Dino do right this week? I mean, hundreds, pretty good score. His tight end put up 20.
Just to clarify, the biggest point differential came in week 1, where Mark only scored 55 points.
Oh right. Oh yeah. Right. I guess I meant this week, but
For this week, yeah.
way to rub it in, Austin. I know.
So yeah.
I mean, he's got some players on here that put up some good numbers. Would you guys agree if I said that Carson Wentz and the Cowboys D cost Mark this game? Cowboys defense put up -4 points and Carson Wentz put up 26 points. It was a 30-point differential. I mean, it's yes and no. Yeah. But I mean, 26 points for a quarterback, that's going to hurt you a lot,
It definitely does.
I know
I
Austin
don't
talks.
think it lost in the game, but I think like obviously he could have won it with better, quarterback and defense.
Yeah,
Right
it
there.
wasn't unwinnable, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree, and especially because Austin, you talk a lot about quarterback depth, right? And how it's a big number, but there's a lot of quarterback depth. But on a week, if you get unlucky and you kind of lose those points, then out of your team, that's a big chunk. So it hurts when something like that happens, even though it's rarer for a quarterback to put up 26 points, especially one that I guess now that we're a 12-man league, maybe it'll happen more. But yeah, that one hurts you.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. And then we go on to the dangerous standard deviants versus Matt Baku. And Matt Vitos comes out 2-0 against Jose, 164 to 152. Both scores that I wouldn't mind having any week. Russell Wilson did a lot of work for you, Jose. Russell Wilson, Nick Chubb. I mean, a lot of players did a lot of work for you. Let's say that fair. You had one player kind of missed his cue there. Naheem Hines came away with 0 points.
I mean, just Matt's team all around, just solid, consistent. Mike Evans coming in strong with two touchdowns from Tom Brady. Ty Higbee even coming in with like clutch.
3 touchdowns. Ty Higbee.
3 tight end touchdowns.
For a tight end, I mean, that's gonna.
Yeah, and even I remember that Sunday afternoon. I think was it that Sunday night game? It was halftime. They were showing all the highlights of like the past games, and every single highlight was from Matt's players. Like, oh hey, Mike Evans coming in strong, Calvin Ridley with these touchdowns. Hey, look at Ty Higbee. And I'm like, we get it, man, we get it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean overall, like his team is super solid, super consistent. My players came in clutch as well. Nick Chubb coming in with 24 points against the Bengals. Traquan putting up some I would some decent amount of points. Coming filling in for Michael Thomas there. Darren Waller coming in with a strong game. Ravens D, attacking Houston like crazy. That gave me solid points. Harrison Butker coming in strong at the last quarter, even at the last second to win it for Kansas
Oh
City.
yeah.
So yeah, and then Russell Wilson just I mean that game against the Patriots, it was offense crazy. Cam Newton trying to prove himself. He did solid as well.
That's
I
close.
mean, just every game, a lot of games with the Seahawks and the Patriots, it always comes down to like the last wire, whether it be
Mm,
Super Bowl or weekly game. They're always gonna come down to the wire. So,
right.
but yeah, I mean, solid play from both teams. I already know what my pain points are. Now it's just going back to the drawing board, figuring out
Yeah.
how to address them. Coming in strong, and hopefully, we get that dub next week against Jeremy.
Last matchup, I'm gonna hand it over to Austin since he whooped me this
Hey.
week. Austin, what do you think? How'd it
Yeah,
go?
it was a close game. I'll do what you do. We have Give Me a Corpse, my team, Austin's team, versus the Darkest Timeline. You were something else when we played, but that is your team. I won 113 to 107. Your three top scorers are Dak Prescott with 68, and then you have your defense with 9 and your tight end with 8. So
Which is insane.
very, very poor showing from the rest of your team.
I
Dak
agree.
carried you throughout the entire game.
Yep.
He's the only reason you even had a chance in that one.
That was like a historic game too, right, for him?
It was for
Yeah.
it was
Oh
definitely
yeah,
was for him.
ridiculous.
yeah, that was just a historic game altogether. But unfortunately for you, the reason why you didn't have any other top scores is because your running back got hurt.
Yeah.
Saquon.
On man, dude.
Big story this week, and he's out officially as far as I've heard today. Anyway, torn ACL. Yeah,
Hey,
Matthew.
maybe. So then we have my team, 113. My top scorers, Aaron Jones with 40 points, giving
Also
those,
ridiculous, by the
those
way.
flashes of Arian Foster scoring about as much, scoring more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other players, quarterbacks. Oh, mine too, if
Yeah.
you want to include 6 quarterbacks in our league.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Jones having 40 more than like most people's quarterbacks.
Yep.
And then Deshaun Watson 32. Again, I'm not happy with that. I'm gonna have a stern talk with Deshaun.
Yeah.
And then my kicker, which I just
You
picked
let
up
him know.
Hey,
You let him know.
time, Young Ho, 17 points. Great.
That's a great showing by
Yeah,
Young Ho.
you've got a
Koo,
solid kicker
and
there.
Oh yeah, I've
I
been wanting him.
I want to blame Jared Cook for my loss. I really think I should be blaming your kicker.
Yeah, definitely should be blaming my kicker.
Yeah, but after Jared Cook caught that touchdown yesterday on Monday, I went to sleep. I was like, all right,
It was close up until that,
it was pretty
Mhm.
close. I wanted to tie.
and even after that, it was still because one like 140 or 50 yarder, and you're right back in it. So it
Yeah.
was a close game.
How do you feel about Joe Burrow on your bench putting up 48 points? Does that make you feel better about the Watson situation, or
Makes
do
me
you
feel way
want Watson?
worse.
You what?
It makes me feel way worse because it's like I don't want to play Watson at all anymore. Like I have no
Oh, yeah.
confidence in Watson
Well,
if I have
When did you
Burrow
draft
on
him?
my
Do you
team.
remember?
Watson, I drafted him really late. He
Okay.
he was going a lot higher in a lot of mocks, and
Fourth
you think
round.
he would have gone a lot higher in our draft.
Uh-huh.
But I got him pretty late. I was
Okay.
one of the last or the later people to get a
Mm-hmm.
quarterback. So like I'm happy with where I got him and what he's done.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not happy with him
He should have been a
and his
steal.
name.
Yeah.
Him and his name. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It should
yeah.
have been a steal. Yeah.
No, I get you there, definitely.